Have you ever had to face a situation that just seemed completely impossible? I don't mean like hard or just a little bit difficult, but you were thinking at the time, there's just no way I can figure this out. It is impossible. We had a situation like that. We were actually expecting a delivery of hardwood floors that we had spent weeks picking out. They were actually these beautiful multiple species and multiple widths and lengths of reclaimed barnwood that was made into hardwood floors, and they were just gorgeous, and we were so excited to get them. But what happened next was not so exciting. After all this time of picking them out, finally it was time for them to arrive, and we look out the window and we see a truck coming down the road, and it is indeed our wood flooring. So we walk down the driveway, and the guy opens up the back of this 18-wheeler and reveals all these pallets of our wood flooring, so 3,800 pounds of wood. Then he asks us where our forklift was, and we were like, our forklift? And he says, yeah, I was told you would have a forklift. And we were like, what homeowner has a forklift? We don't have a forklift. I guess we'll just have to carry it down the driveway by hand then. But the other problem was I wasn't supposed to be lifting anything because I had just been sick with mono of all things, and I wasn't allowed to lift anything heavy or I could die. So Jason would have to do it himself. But did I mention that we weren't even allowed to get on the truck to take the wood off, and the driver was not allowed to help us to pass the wood down to us, and we had to somehow get it from the truck to the house down the long driveway, and we had to also do all of that in 20 minutes because that's all the time the driver had. You might have felt like you were dealing yourself with an impossible challenge that could not possibly be overcome. Maybe you were getting a lot less calls, you were getting less clients, and some of them would call me and they'd be panicking and they'd be saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. I do everything face to face. I don't know how to teach anything online. I don't know how to change my services. I'm going to lose all my current clients. What am I going to do? What if I told you that some trainers were able to overcome all those obstacles and even thrive? So in case you don't know me, I'm Molly. I'm the creator of makeitasadogtrainer.com, and I've been spending the last about 9 years helping dog trainers be able to make more in less time, get more clients, get better clients, be able to have more time off and make more with the same number of people and market their businesses and everything you need to know about how to get clients. I have been, of course, because I'm in touch with so many dog trainers all over the world, and I have a Facebook group with over 7,000 dog trainers in it, and I talk to a lot of dog trainers on a regular basis one-on-one and through my workshops and different things. A lot of them are in direct contact with me, so I've heard a lot of different stories about how everybody's businesses have gone during all these changes. So for example, one of them contacted me and she was like, I have a wait list for 2 months, but it's the old version of the programs. It's all face-to-face contact. It's lessons in their house. I don't know what I'm going to do. Do I have to refund them? Do I have to completely change everything I do? What's going to happen? She had already done so well in her business by changing a lot of the things that we had worked on together, but she had a lot of this great instinct now in her business with how to market things and how to talk to people and what her ideal clients would value, and any changes that she would need to make, she would still be able to figure that part out because she had that instinct now from all the training she had done and all the learning she had done about client attraction. So she adapted her programs and adjusted things, and I talked to her a couple weeks later, and all her current clients stuck around, and she was still getting signups for her big high-end great value programs. The programs had just been adapted. So she adjusted things and continued on fine from that point. And a lot of trainers that I know had done the same thing. On the other hand, many other trainers were struggling. Their phone calls, they're just completely stopped. They were still getting consultations and doing them on the phone or doing them by video chat, but they weren't signing up, or they'd say, let's just wait until things clear up. Or they would still get signups, but they would just be like super small things and just stumble through everything. Just take it a step at a time, but a big struggle the whole way. Just everything completely, for the most part, flatlining in their business. So what is the difference? Why do some trainers continue to do fine and thrive and continue to get high-paying clients, and they adjust and adapt and things continue on fine, and others just continue to struggle and just get in touch and they say, I don't even know where to start. What do I even do in this situation? They just panic and shut down. So I find that a lot of times with a lot of really awesome dog trainers that they just think that because they have this great skill and they can help people and they can train dogs really well, that means that everything will just fall into place and their skills will speak for themselves and they'll be able to get clients and things will be fine. And that's not always the way it works, because there's more than just your dog training skills that are a factor here. There's your dog training skills, and then there's your skills for marketing and getting clients. Two totally different types of skills. Knowing that you have to be able to continue building and continue growing, continue learning, that's the first step with getting all of the other skills that you need. So why not you? The great news is you can learn the skills that you need in order to have a great business fast and apply them quickly and get results so much faster than you would even think, sometimes even just from one week to the next. And I've seen it happen over and over. So during the pandemic, I examined a lot of different trainers' businesses, the ones that were doing fine and had continued on growing, getting clients, getting even high-paying clients, and the ones that were struggling and panicking and not getting anything, and what the differences were between the ones that were panicking and upset and getting no calls and the ones that were still thriving. And the differences had nothing to do with the limitations or the restrictions in their geographic area or anything having to do with where they live. It was really about the same three things that all of the successful dog trainers had in common. And these three things are things that are they directly lead to a dog trainer's success. So there are a couple things that all these successful trainers have that they just have inside their heads. They have confidence and they have instinct. Where do they get them? They get them from having the foundation of these three things that we're talking about in these videos. This is the basis on which they make any marketing decisions. So what are these things that they do specifically that are different? The first one is they know how their ideal clients think. So they know who they want to attract. They know how their minds work. They know how to advertise to the people who are the most likely to sign up and be motivated to listen and be willing to spend what you're really worth and what your services are really worth. They know those people. They know how their minds work. The second thing is they know how to talk about what they do. In other words, to be able to communicate their value in their writing, like their website content. They know how to say, this is what I do and this is how beneficial it is to you, so that their ideal clients can see the value of contacting them and signing up for whatever they have to offer. They just know how to communicate that value to them. In other words, they know how to write. They know how to write their websites. They know how to communicate in spoken form when people contact them, what to say when people contact them, how to present their services, how to package what they offer. All those things go into kind of communication and writing skills. They know their client, they know how they think, and they know how to communicate with them. And the third thing has to do with communication as well, but it's a little different. It's not just about the words you use, it's how you communicate in terms of how you just actually interact with people, how you get them to trust you, whether or not they like you, all the things that involve whether or not people just feel some kind of connection to you where they trust you and they like you and are willing to turn over their problem to you and get their help from you. So it's kind of part of communicating, but it's different than just the actual words that you use. It's how you actually interact with people. So this is timeless knowledge that you can draw on forever if you have these skills. It's not just about knowing what tools to use or online software to specifically do or little things to specifically do to adapt your programs or change things. It's these foundation things, these timeless things that just impact your confidence and your instinct and your marketing and being able to attract clients that you can draw on forever. So your confidence to be able to overcome an unexpected problem is huge. That has probably the biggest impact on your business overall. And during these kinds of situations and anytime in the future, no matter what happens, your confidence that you can draw from your knowledge that you have on all of these things impacts your business more than anything. So now is not a good time to quit on all of your goals, even if it seems things just aren't going so good right now. So here is some things that you can actually do right now with those three things that we're talking about. The first one, again, is being able to understand your ideal client, understand their minds, how they think, what attracts them, what influences them, what makes them likely to buy something or not, all of those things. So I have a worksheet for you as part of this video. It's somewhere on this page, so you can download it and fill it out. And with that worksheet, you're going to fill it out and it'll help you figure out a lot of things that you might not have ever thought about the way your ideal clients think, what they want, what frustrates them, what worries them, what keeps them up at night, things that you might even need to start asking your ideal clients when they get in touch with you. What do they wish their dog would start doing and stop doing? But also, what are the things that their dog is doing that's impacting their everyday life? How is it impacting their everyday life? How is it making their life less enjoyable, less peaceful? How are they regretting or feeling reluctant about the fact that they have a dog? What are they afraid is going to happen if nothing changes? You can even ask your past clients that were like your favorite people, the dogs that you helped the most, the people that you got along with the most, and ask them, before you did the training, what was the worst case scenario in your mind? What were you afraid was going to happen if you didn't change anything? What was the impact in your everyday life from the training. Not just, okay, your dog didn't come when they were called and now he does. What was the impact? How did it change the stress? How did it change the chaos? How did it add more peace? How did it change how you enjoy your dog? Pay attention to the actual words that they use and get to know the way their minds think. I always used to say that the main secret of marketing any business is all about just knowing the minds of the people that you are trying to sell to. And by knowing that, you will tend to attract better clients. You will just get more of the people that listen to you and that you are happy to see on your calendar instead of the ones that you might have now where you're like, oh, I have a lesson with that guy today. You'll get more of the people that you actually enjoy working with. And those people are much more likely to understand the value of what you do, so that no matter what you do to your programs and how you adjust them, you are much more likely to get people paying you what you're worth. That's why this is so important as the number one top foundation skill. So remember the problem I mentioned earlier about all the wood flooring at the end of our driveway that we had to figure out how to get in the house? As it turned out, the super nice couple that lived across the street looked out the window and happened to notice our struggling. And I talked to the guy on the truck and worked things out a little bit. And he bent the rules for us a little. He's like, if you have some wire cutters, I'll help you get the wood off the truck. You can't come on the truck, but I'll hand you down. I'll clip all the wire thingies around it and I'll hand down a bundle at a time. I wasn't supposed to be lifting anything. Like I said, the guys he handed down a bundle of wood to Jason and I helped maneuver it. We literally just dropped 3,800 pounds of wood on the street, which is when the neighbors noticed and they came over and they were like, Molly, you're not supposed to be lifting anything. What are you doing? We'll help you. This couple, and they're like, what, in their 70s, maybe? Something like that. So they helped get it onto their pickup truck, one load at a time, and drive it up the driveway, back it in, and then help move it one bit at a time into the house, into a spare room. So the driver kind of bent the rules for us, and I had to go find some wire cutters and help everybody get water. That was my job, was just to give everybody water and maneuver things a little bit if I could, keep the doors open and everything. And we figured it out, one little thing at a time, something that seemed completely impossible. Got all the wood off the truck, got all the wood into the house eventually. Fortunately, it wasn't raining that day, so that was one thing that went in our favor. The point is that we wouldn't have been able to figure this out if we didn't have help. We had to accept help where it was available. So the help you're getting is these videos to give you exactly what you need in order to be able to overcome the obstacles that you have as a professional dog trainer and be able to have your business be the way you want it to be out of all the trainers that I've taught over the years. So make sure you pay really close attention to what's in these videos and apply them as fast as possible. So there's no reason to try to do any of this on your own and get there on your own. There are tons of trainers who have been where you are right now and who are now where you want to be. The trail has already been cut. It's already been blazed for you. You can just choose between walking down that trail that's already been cut for you and getting where you want your business to be, or wandering aimlessly through a bug-infested, thorny, horrible jungle and hoping that you wander into the business that you wanted in the first place. That choice is completely up to you. You can pick the wandering or you can pick going down the trail. So make sure as we go through these videos that you post comments and questions for me down below. I always read them personally and reply to all of the questions, and stay in touch with me. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're applying, and how it's working out for you. And I will see you in the next video with getting deeper into that second of those 3 foundation things. And I'll talk to you then.